Hey, everybody, and welcome to the SEAL Podcast, episode number 238 for August the 30th, 2024. I am your host, Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Dave.
Hello.
And on my right by Neil.
Hi.
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 Well, here we are, another Friday. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Nearly September.
It's outrageous.
It's fucking wrong, isn't it?
Yes.
Before you know it, we'll be making shit predictions again.
Those are fun.
They're always shit.
Yeah.
It turns out.
Everyone all right?
All right.
Any ailments?
Nope.
None that I know of.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right, well, welcome to the show, everyone. You can see we're rollicking ahead as usual.
Yeah. I'm sure the waffling will commence.
Waffling
shortly.
commence, yes. Hundo P. Okay, well, without further ado, I guess we just go straight into the football, Neil. As it is a major component of our
content.
show. Yes.
It is during the season, I guess. The 38 weeks of Premier League. But spreads over more than 38 weeks, obviously, of the year. I guess.
I don't know.
It feels like
the
it must do.
commence.
Here we go. Yes, so week 2. We've only had 2 weeks. Has your dog done a stinker?
No, I forgot my drink.
Oh.
I'm going to get it while you start.
Okay. Right, so yes, it's week 2 of the Premier League and therefore week 2 of FPL. And our league... Oh, that's a bit annoying. David held on to top spot. Not you, obviously. You're a different top spot. Yeah, David Kinzet by 1 point is currently leading, despite having a bit of a stinker. He got the average, to be fair. It wasn't a stinker. He got average score last week. Average was 69 for the week, I believe. I think it was 69. So David got bang on average. And then quite a few teams did a slightly better or considerably better, depending on your definition of considerably and slightly in terms of percentage, I guess. Some people nearly 50% more points. Our top scorer of the week, Christian Barkley, 92. Wow. You know what he did? He went and triple You haven't got your mic on, Fraser.
He triple captained Haaland.
Yes, just as well he did, really, because the rest of his team wasn't all that.
Can't argue with that.
That was more than half his points last week. 51 for Haaland triple captainers. So he got 17 points. I had him as captain, so I got 34.
34, same as me.
Yeah. Yes, Dave made a good decision. It may prove to be the best time to play a triple captainship, but we won't really know until the end of the season. But it's definitely not a shit one, for sure. If you triple captain someone and they score a hat-trick, that's not bad.
If you triple captain someone and they score a hat-trick, you do not walk away at any point and say that was a bad move.
No. But if he scores 2 hat-tricks in 2 games in the same game week later on in the season, it may not prove to be in the long term. It may not be the right choice. But at this stage of the season, early days,
I still wouldn't worry about
very
it.
good choice. No.
I'd take it and be happy.
I would. If you triple captain someone and they score a hat-trick, and it's only one. Yeah, I definitely triple captain someone and they didn't do fuck all in 2 games for sure in the past. So, yeah. Well done, Christian. Who was the second top scorer of the week? Was it me? I think it might have been me. Yeah, I got 86. I didn't triple captain Haaland, but I had quite a nice spread of players. I had my defenders all cool. My keeper didn't do anything, but my 3 defenders all come in with points. Smith Rowe could turn out to be the bargain of the season at the moment. 5.5 mil. Well, he was. He's 5.6 now. Obviously, moved from Arsenal to Fulham. He's going to be one of the main players for Fulham, it would seem, this season. He scored on his home debut last week. He got 10 points. So that's a nice return from a cheap player. And speaking of returns from cheap players, it seems like some of the cheap players are the ones scoring the points. And if you've invested a lot of money in up front, particularly, there's only one man who's really getting any points in the terms of the high value players. Oh, Havertz, I suppose, is relatively high, but he's not super high. But yeah, like Isaac got an assist in the first game, jack shit in the second game. He's like, he was the most owned player going into the start of the game, I think, 50 or 60, nearly 60% owned. And looks like he might go down in price tonight because everyone's shipping him out because he's done jack shit in week 2.
Yeah, good.
There's been quite a lot.
You know, he's going to deliver this weekend.
Well,
right?
you don't. He had a good time against Tottenham at home last season.
No, I know for sure, mate.
You don't know anything yet. Nothing's happened yet. You might know next week. But yes, I am one of the people who transferred him out. I feel like I'm gonna give you a couple of little things because obviously I played my wild card last week. Basically, I did really well, honestly. But I was looking at my team and I was like, I'm just not happy with this. I wasn't happy at the start of the season. I'm like, I want someone other than Odegaard from the Arsenal in my team, and so that's happened. And
I should have
Odegaard
got rid of him ages ago. Man.
Yeah. He went down in price last night, so I got rid of him in time to beat the price drop on Odegaard.
Triple. Here's a hat trick coming.
Well, yeah, exactly. Who knows? They're at home to Brighton. Yeah. But I feel like I said to you last week, Havertz is cheaper. Feel like he's probably going to deliver more points over the season. That's the way I went for it. I did have Saka at one point, but I was like, he's 2 million more than Havertz, basically.
Isn't Havertz up front?
He's the front, yeah. But I can't have both of them. Too expensive. Because, obviously, after last week, I have to put Cole Palmer in. I'm not doing what I did last year and saying, no, I'm not putting him in, and then just missing points every fucking week. He wasn't the top scorer last week individually. He got 17, the same as Haaland, but his partner in crime, Noni Madueke, got 20 points last week for a hat-trick as a midfielder, and he's cheap. But I can't see that happening every week. But I can see Cole Palmer scoring points every week, near enough.
You got to hand it to Madueke, or however you pronounce his name. I loved what he did last week. Was he basically just completely slated Wolverhampton, then turned out and scored a hat trick against him,
and then apologised for calling the place a shithole. So yeah, I mean, like I say, for me, wildcard's done. You keep your transfers. I don't know if you knew this before. No, this is new this season. So for transfers you've built up pre-wildcard, you will come out of the wildcard having the same number. Whereas last year, you played your wildcard and went back to one transfer.
They're dumbing it down, aren't they?
I have a bit. That's why I was like, fuck it, I might as well do it now. And if I don't make any changes for 3 or 4 weeks, I'm back to having 5 transfers anyway. It's fine. And it's like a mini wildcard. So
it's bad
that
news
was my
for people
thought.
who chase points, because that's what people do, right? You know,
Yeah.
Oh shit, I missed out. I'll get that guy in. He fucking doesn't do it the next week. Then they go chase someone else. If you give them tons of transfers, they're just going to keep doing it all season. It's great.
Well, I have plans.
You.
No, it's not me. I have plans. But hopefully I've got what I want. Obviously, what you want to do when you play your wild card is get your team set up so you don't have to make any changes for a good 3 or 4 weeks after.
Dude, all you need is the next week for one of them to shit the bed, and then you're like, well, fucking. I mean, it's
no. I'm pretty happy. I look at my team and go, yeah, I like that. I like that now. Whereas beforehand, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like that. So I'm pretty happy now. So obviously, I'll make about 3 or 4 changes by tomorrow. No, I just want to leave it alone now because I look at it and go, yeah, I've got what I wanted.
Yeah, I'm not riding the Haaland train. I'm not riding the Palmer train. I still scored all right. I still scored above average. Considering scored above average, considering I didn't have Haaland as captain.
You did have Cole Palmer. No, who did you have a captain?
No,
you had Son, didn't you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna hang tight. I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna stick to it.
Good luck to you.
I refuse to give up some of my midfield options because of Haaland. I still.
Who have you got midfield?
Gordon, Jota, Saka, and Son. I've got McGinn in there, but I'm gonna probably ditch him. Yeah.
See, how'd you say him again?
McGinn.
No, the others. Jota, Son,
Saka, and Gordon.
Yeah, I got rid of Gordon. He was the only one player I've got rid of that has actually delivered points for me so far, but he had to go for Cole Palmer.
you needed his money.
I had to go for Cole Palmer, so it was like, I feel like I might have upgraded, to be honest.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and it's like, yeah, Palmer, and I don't know. I just tried to be strong and not make decisions based on
It's not on 1 week, though, is it?
one weekend.
No, it's not just on 1 week, is it? Because it's the whole of last season as well. When you think back. So, yeah,
True.
that was the thinking. I was like, he did perform extremely well last week, and we know from last year that he is the main man at Chelsea. It would seem that still this year. Other people even, who people were banking on being a cheaper option, Christopher Nkunku, don't look like they're going to be getting the minutes that people wanted them to have. He played again Thursday night, played the last 2 games in Europe, and hasn't started the last. Well, I don't think he'll start again this week because he didn't start last weekend after Europe, because they played Thursday night. So, things are moving. There's a lot of price changes happening. Lots of players going down over the last week. Quite a few going up. Haaland being one of them, and Salah. So the 2 most expensive players have already gone up by 0.1 million. So make it that little bit harder to squeeze them in your team if you don't have them already. So yeah. Christian's son still in 3rd. I should add before we move on. If we do, I'm up to 4th. And Andy Cox had a good week. 85. He was 3rd highest scorer. He's up to 5th. And Christian is up to 6th. And then you, Fraser, slumped to 7th from the heights of wherever you were last week. I can't remember.
No worries.
Fraser, you had a good points. You
Yeah.
73, was it?
73.
Yeah, it was all right. I have no complaints. No complaints.
There was quite a few teams did quite well, and then there was a few teams that did a bit shit. So maybe I won't mention them. Now, your mate Angelo's joined the league a week late. Notice. You'd think, being a week late, he might have absolutely smashed it last week. He didn't.
No.
There we go. As the cookie crumbles. So on to the head-to-head league, as we have a bit of a change. We've actually had 2 games now, so we've got less teams on 100% points. We've got 7 on the 6 points, which is the maximum you can have after 2 games. One of those, however, is this mysterious entity known as Average, which is not a real person, obviously.
That's what I should have named my team name.
Yes. Average has won 2 out of 2 so far. So let's hope that someone beats the average this week.
Well, lots of people beat the average, but just didn't.
Didn't play against them in the head-to-head. Yeah. So last week's matches, there was quite a close one. Where is it? Elusive Man and Michael Redmond. It's 77 to Elusive Man, 80 to Mike Redmond, and I know that Mike Redmond captained Cole Palmer, and if he hadn't done that, I think he would have been right in the shit. So he had obviously a monster score on the Sunday. So Elusive Man was probably rubbing his hands thinking he might have had that wrapped up, and then Cole Palmer went and scored loads of points. And then Kev. Where's Kev? Kev got smashed because he played Christian, so he got smashed by 40 points. That was the biggest deficit, I think, in the one game. So I think that's...
Not even me and Kenzet.
No, you weren't that far behind, were you? Because Kenzet only got 69. What did you get? You got 53. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the biggest deficit was 40 points, and then the closest match was 3 points. So no draws yet. So yeah, so the league is taking shape.
Right.
We've got
nice
2, 4, 6, 7 teams without a win so far. But yeah, it's early days. Time to pull that back.
Okay, good. Oh yeah, we got 2 people who joined late. Jake Fisher as well.
Yeah, I feel like Jake was in it before. I feel like he just started a week late. I feel like Jake was one from before.
Really? Okay. Good luck. All right. Anything else? Football? Or we're going to listener stuff where there is more football. We have a message from Christian.
Yeah.
He says, "Can I request that Fraser stop sabotaging the growth of the cult of Forest over the pond?" So basically, what he's referring to there is what Christian. So if anybody knows Gary, the Gar and the Gar Cast and all that group, they have their own group that we sort of pop in and we socialize with them, don't we? We
Yeah.
lower ourselves to talk to the Yanks.
We sully ourselves to listen.
We would go over there and try and educate them on the ways of the world.
Well, it doesn't seem to be working.
Well, no, I mean Christian's gone over there. Christian got in there first, and he did a sterling work. He's got them into football, which is great, but he's got them all as Forest fans, and he's basically just trying to. He's getting back at me because I basically just keep fucking telling him how bad that is.
Giving some Forest some shit every week.
Yeah, why not?
Got rejected by a couple of players, I think, this week. Forest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was all done deals, and then all of a sudden they weren't going there. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Like, fuck that.
It was like, nah. It's like the new Chelsea, Forest.
They're like, where's fucking Nottingham?
Yeah, it's like just like Chelsea, but in a shitter place. I love Nottingham.
Do you?
Well, it's been a while
do
since I've been
you?
there, to be honest, but it was pretty cool while I was there.
Yeah, and I sort of felt a bit bad about it. Like I thought,
Not for long,
they
no.
keep giving him shit. No, fucking everyone hates Chelsea. Everyone hates Chelsea.
It's because
Right.
they're scumbags.
That's right. So am I going to sit over here and complain? Leave my poor Chelsea alone. No, Chelsea are fucking wankers anyway.
They're an absolute joke, but there we go.
Fucking football.
No, I don't want to even look. I've just looked at the score and I'm like, I fucking wish I hadn't bothered. Luton
What
are playing.
score?
Luton are playing at the minute.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, the mighty Lutes. So yes, Christian, yes, probably not. I probably won't do that. Sorry. But your growing of the cult of the Forest is very admirable. I will say, I am impressed.
They're simple
just
people over
Jane.
there, aren't
It's
they? Though
it-
you know, easily influenced. If you get in early,
See, it's not just me.
I wasn't talking about Nottingham people. I was talking about the Yanks.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, before we get ourselves in deep, Mark MS Rangers has sent us something. Hey, Mark, how are you? Evening, boys. Gaming over the decades. Did a demo ever convince you to go out and buy a game? Due to being too old, I can't recall what games I did buy through a demo play, but from the hundreds I've played, it's only about 3. I put this down to when I want a game, I buy it day one. And he's a man who knows what he wants.
I remember Worms on the PC. I remember getting a demo copy on
You're
a
like,
game magazine,
Oh yeah.
and it was multiplayer and 'cause it was-
online.
no,
No, local. Worms
Local.
PC was great, man. We used to all
Yeah.
get together in a big group and play it.
We played
Yeah.
loads of it on PlayStation, whatever it was, 1 or 2. We'd go around my mate's house. We'd all go around there and just play video games.
Yeah, I don't think I have many. Probably more in the Steam era,
Yeah, definitely.
because Steam has demos.
Because it's the only place you actually get demos nowadays.
Yeah, so and I am trying more demos actually now as time moves on. But I think back in the day, maybe I don't even think there.
Did you
I
buy
didn't really
Halo
have
3 because you played the demo in Crackdown or whatever?
No, I was going to buy it anyway, so that made no difference. It is why I bought Crackdown, probably, like
Yeah.
most people.
Saying
but,
that, I know a game that I'm currently playing, still sort of dipping out the
Wait,
demo. That
wait. I can't remember which one it is. There's one that just came. There's one that just came out of demo. It came out of early access, wasn't it? The Forest or something, or no, 7 Days to Die.
Yeah,
What are you talking
that was
about?
I was
Dave?
talking about that the other week.
I was talking about Dungeon Crawler,
Oh.
Clora. that I
Lola.
still,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
I
is
still
that
play that
you
demo.
play the demo, but it's not out yet. The game's not out, or is it?
No, I will pick it up. No, the game's not out yet. No,
So you put a bit of time in that, then now.
I put loads of time in it. Yeah.
I've,
I refunded Degenerate Dungeons and
Oh, did you?
Degenerate Gamblers or whatever. Yeah,
Was that what was it? Rob? Was it
I
Blackjack?
just couldn't.
I can't remember. What
Yeah,
it
I
was.
just couldn't bring myself to play it, so I thought it's wasted.
Yeah,
Have that money back, thank you.
put it towards something nice.
Nothing. I can't get my Steam credit down. I keep buying stuff and then refunding it,
You just got too much
and
money.
then go play Balatro. Or
I think the last one was Case of the Golden Idol. I've definitely played the demo for that, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely buying this. So I was definitely. I don't know if there's many others on PC, honestly, but I do try some demos. That was definitely one I remember sticking out in my head that I definitely tried. But I don't know, just like don't buy demo discs anymore, do you? Anything like that? Don't buy magazines with demo discs.
I never really did have demo discs before. With the PlayStation, I was never buying demo discs for that. And then the Spectrum when I was even younger. I don't think there
That
were
was
really
not a
demos
thing
for the
there, was it?
Spectrum. You got,
Did-
you
That was
got
more just
the
free
game was
copies
either
from your
free.
mate, yeah.
Did you play like the shareware version of Doom and then buy
No.
Doom?
I may have done briefly, but I never thought it was
No.
actually very good.
What?
My daughter's downloads demos on the Nintendo Switch
Mm.
and plays them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because you're
I
too
don't-
tight to buy her games on there.
No, it's not that. She doesn't really know what she wants to play, so she just downloads demos and plays them for a bit. There's none that she's actually actively picked up. There's one or two that she's played for quite a bit, and then she got bored of and like, no, I don't really want to. Because I said, do you want it? So nah, I've got my time out of it. So yeah, Nintendo Switch does alright for demos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
haven't
right,
really
okay.
tried any other. There's definitely few on the PlayStation, but I look at them, and loads of them are like the absolute dross shit games that they keep fucking Jumping Burger or whatever. I'm like, fuck off! What the hell is this shit? Have you seen all that
What's
shit?
wrong with Jumping Burger?
Well, it's like, is it any different to Jumping Banana or Jumping Nut or whatever? There's fucking hundreds of these games.
What?
There's insane.
there?
There's insane amounts
Oh.
of these jumping games on PlayStation.
Oh, I don't know.
The problem is the free games, the freemium, like
Fortnite,
Call of Duty, yeah, or Fortnite, or
The First
Roblox,
Descendant, or whatever it is, Once Human.
yeah, like they're what we would consider AAA games, and they're free.
Mm.
Why wouldn't you just go and play them if you haven't got a lot of money and you've got time to burn?
Yeah,
Yes.
Considering Roblox is all different types of games.
I ain't playing
like,
Roblox, dude.
I think if I had access to Roblox as a kid, like that'd have been it. I wouldn't have played any other games at all.
Well, it's basically
Yeah,
got
that's
every
pretty
other
much how
game in it.
goes.
It's just got rip-offs of every single game ever
Yeah.
made in it.
Yeah.
It would seem.
Yeah.
Right, you've got Roblox, Fortnite, and Minecraft you got to pay for, but every kid has Minecraft. I mean, they might as well just give a Minecraft key at birth, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations, here's your Minecraft key. All right, hopefully that answers your question, Mark, as best possible. It's nice to hear from you, mate.
Thank you.
Derek has sent something in. He says, no emojis or photos this week. Just talk about the modern curse of paralysis of choice. He says, earlier this week, I decided I needed to replace my current MP3 player, which I had bought in 2016. Unlike a lot of people, I have never used my mobile phone to listen to music. If I was buying a new MP3 player, then I may as well buy some new earphones at the same time. Such a simple problem, you might think, but here I am 4 days later, and I still haven't chosen the MP3 player or earphones. Paralysis of choice is to blame, I tells ya. Hopefully I'll have something sorted in the next few days. So a question for the Seal Podcast Tech Gurus. What determines your choice when buying any entertainment hardware online? And have you ever spent way too long looking for the perfect item that meets the 3 checkboxes of price, performance, and practicality? Cheers, Derek. Dave?
I didn't even realize they'd done MP3 players anymore. I thought they were gone.
You have to pick them up on eBay now.
Yeah, bizarrely, actually, I need an MP3 player. I have an MP3 player. It's a small and at the time I had done a ton of research. Like I knew what I wanted, and it's like not, it ticked all the boxes. It doesn't matter what it is. It
Is
ticked
it
all the
is it a
boxes.
Sony?
No, I would fucking. I've done that. Don't do that. No, I mean I don't know how Sony's are these days, but their fucking proprietary software is cancer, right? And I'm sorry to bring up cancer to anybody who's close to cancer or whatever, but fuck me, I don't know what it is with Sony.
What
Awful.
is that in terms of
Is it-
getting something on the
You
MP3
had to
player
take,
via your computer?
you had to take all your MP3s, then the Sony software would convert it to the format that it wanted to use, and then drop it onto
Was that the same as the mini disc
to,
format?
to the MP3 player.
Mm.
So, no, I don't think so. OCD or no, OCD. That doesn't sound right. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So anyway, I ended up getting something else. I can't even remember what it was, but it was just like simple: plug it into your PC, drag and drop the MP3s into a folder. How more difficult does it need to be, right? But unfortunately, mine stopped working. So actually, Derek, I'd be somewhat interested in what solution you come up with, because bizarrely, I needed it, right? I have uses for it. I still transfer files because my DJ setup is antiquated. One of the setups is an old school CDJ system. I need to transfer. I need to physically. I download to a. I need to physically move stuff around, right?
What?
The digital files. It's very bizarre, but
You got to physically move digital.
I record
media.
onto a rack-mounted MP3 recorder. So then I had to take that out and then transfer those files over to my PC to manipulate them or do whatever I want. But it would be nice as well to have an MP3 player I could just quickly drop the files into and then cart around with me rather than uploading them to Mixcloud and then having to listen that way. It's all fucking very bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I just keep looking at cars. That's my... Don't look at like that. I'm quite when I go and decide I want a TV, or I'm usually like, I know I like my LG OLEDs. I know if I go with one of those, I know I'm probably going to be happy. There's certain things like I sort of always look at Richer Sounds every week. I get an email and have a quick look at what's going on in the world of hi-fi and shit, and keep up with that. And then generally, yeah, I've definitely made some dud choices though. Like I wanted some sort of wireless streaming type of thing, and I balked at the price of the Sonos systems and bought a Bose thing, and turns out it wasn't that good. So it's like I ended up buying the Sonos shit a few years later because, well, up until recently it just worked, but people are complaining about Sonos now because they updated the app and made it shit.
yeah.
To be honest, I ain't really noticed it being super shit for me because I'm not using it all the time, I guess. But whenever I've used it, it's worked so far. Touch wood.
You would hope.
Yeah. You spend a lot of money on something, you expect it to work, don't you? And it always did. So that was the.
Yeah, I think the problem. I know my dad had a problem with his Sonos stuff, and he had like old.
Yeah, if it gets out of
Sonos.
date, then I guess that could be an issue.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely like a legacy app for older systems that is obviously not getting updated and shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's your hardware that is getting left behind through software updates. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, like I say, it's still it's not supported exactly, but it still works. But you just don't get the latest features, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say here, I think curse of paralysis of choice. I don't think it's a curse, and I don't think it's a paralysis of choice either. I think it's thorough investigation into finding out,
When my view of it is, if I want something, I know what I want to pay for it or what I've got to pay for it. So I look within that price bracket and then understand the limitations. And try and get best value for money and try and have everything I want. But I'll always have a price bracket that I'm looking at and research what the technology what is.
and you want to maximize the bang for your buck, right? So
Exactly.
it's not paralysis of choice. It takes time, right? You've got to maximize what
Yeah.
you're getting for your
Or
budget.
look for deals, or wait for sales.
Right. There's all sorts,
online.
right? First of all, looking for the tech. Second, then looking for the deals on the tech, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it
yeah.
takes
Like
time.
I use Price Runner. I don't know if anybody else.
Did
but
you
it's
set up
basically
alerts for when it goes
Yeah.
cheap and stuff? I've done that.
Yeah.
I think it was Price Spy that I did it with, but yeah, similar type of thing. But sometimes it doesn't work. Find.
Sometimes it doesn't work. No, sometimes it comes back with like bad results or whatever. But it keeps me. Not only does it keep me remembering the thing that I want to do and the fact that I've set an alert for the price that I've set it for, but also like it's just handy just as a comparison about all the different places that you can buy this stuff from. So
I don't know if it's all of the places. That's the thing, because I think it's all like places that they've arranged to deal with. So if you buy stuff, that they get a cut. I guess.
Yeah, the one that I did, the Price Runner, definitely looks at Amazon.
Yeah.
Also looks at Currys and a few of the bigger ones, Argos as well. Because they're
They
one of them is
pay
normally the-
affiliate fees.
probably. Yeah. But yeah, that's it's I work from price first, and then I go through like the
I
what it
usually
needs to
find
do.
something I want and wait for it to get the right price.
Yeah.
Well,
wait-
having time on your side is good
Yeah.
too, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
just being careful with your money. It's good.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's nothing worse than just buying something that's, a good amount of money and then it's shit.
Yeah.
Gutting, isn't it?
I wouldn't know. I
Unless you
imagine
have-
so.
well, unless you're Neil, you got buckets of money. It doesn't matter.
I don't know about that. I definitely don't have buckets of money.
Oh.
All right. So hopefully that helps you there, Derek. Keep us posted on what you. I'd like to know what you buy, actually,
Yeah,
please.
well, earphones are a fucking problem now, aren't they?
Are they?
Well, if you want earphones to work on everything, you're fucked because they don't do that. Just like phones have USB-Cs and fucking everything else has like phono jacks or whatever they're called. Not phono jacks, but normal jacks. 3.5 millimeters, 6.5 millimeters, all that bollocks.
What do you mean all that bollocks? All that was great bollocks. We were doing just fine.
3.5 millimeters were fine, but now it's all wire free for me.
Not me.
No, I can see.
Wires. Love my wires.
Oh, they're okay until you turn your head too far, and then fucking
That is
pings
annoying.
out
But
of
I
you.
mean, but again, like I've gone down and seen my son now, and he's just like all his wireless stuff isn't working or whatever like that. He's going back to wired now. He's just like done with it.
Wired's a good backup for me. If for some reason my batteries run out or whatever, I've got my wired backups. But
Right.
can't do that on your iPhone. Well, you can, I guess, but no.
All right, let's move on then to what we've been doing. You really going to talk, Neil, about the quiz? I didn't think you got the result you wanted.
Which isn't. Fucking sucked.
Go on.
Well, we fucked up on the quiz.
No.
Came 9th, which is fucking
What?
embarrassing. Did come last, so we
I was
didn't get
gonna
to
say,
choose.
how many teams were there?
13, I think. That's pretty shit for
Oh.
us. We fucked up. We played our Joker on the wrong round. There was a round called Anthems, and I was like, oh, fuck it, we'll do that. It's usually like music. It's a music-based one, obviously, but it was actual national anthems, and I was like, oh, fuck.
National. Oh god. All right. Okay.
I was like, there was 5 obvious ones, like Germany, Italy, France, USA, something else I can't remember right now. I was like, well, you obviously know what those ones are. He gave you all the countries, and then you had to fucking put them in where he played the tune. You're
Right.
like, and it was like, yeah, Brazil, Portugal, China, fucking can't remember some of the others now. It was New Zealand. I was like, who's ever fucking heard the New Zealand anthem? They didn't win anything. So yeah, I guess obviously everyone in New Zealand knows what the anthem is, but I was like, I don't think I've ever heard that. So yeah, we fucked up. We didn't get many double points. And then in the first round, we should have played a joke one, was like anagrams of sports people, and we got all fucking 10 of them. So we fucked up. We'd probably I think we'd have come 3rd if we'd have played the Joker on the first round instead of the 4th
I like
round.
this. I like this high standard you hold yourself to, right? Just the 1 week without the win, and he's just crestfallen.
Yeah, it's shocking. I was hoping for a quiz from Derek to redeem myself, to be honest, but hey ho, maybe next week.
So who was
Yeah.
it? Just you and the
Me, my
missus?
wife, and my boy. And yeah, he got the last anagram. Eric Cantona, he was one of the sporting legends. They're all sporting legends, but
Oh.
yeah, finally got the last one. So, but yeah, we didn't win the fucking nearest to ball question, which was how many songs have Oasis had in the UK top 10? No
The
one
answer
won.
is no one cares.
Yeah, well, I don't fucking care anymore.
I'd say-
23.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say in the 20. I was gonna say 20, 22.
Yeah, well, I went a bit higher than that because I was like, oh, they've done fucking loads of songs, and I bet most of them get in the top 10. But yeah, it turned out it was 23. But yeah, we were convinced the people who won were fucking cheating because they were on the other side of the pub. So there's always the fucking ones over there, away from the quizmaster. Like, always a bit suspicious.
Dodgy.
So
You
you're
just take your
rethinking
phones when you come in.
Yeah, just rethink your seating plans.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have to sit next to the winners of the previous quiz should have to sit next to the fucking quizmaster in the next one. Just to make sure they're not fucking cheating. But hey, it was fun anyway. And I had a few beers.
Yes.
What was the winning? What was the winnings?
50 odd quid. 50
Oof.
50 quid for first place, and it was 62 quid for the nearest the ball. And that gets rolled over to next month now.
Sorry, the nearest the ball?
Yeah, like I say, it was the Oasis tunes in the top 10.
Sorry,
so
yeah,
they just
so
do a
hard.
random, like, whoever's nearest. Well, you have to get it right. Excuse me, but it's always like pick a random number, basically.
Yeah.
Or put
Like
it in
how
a
many
random
liters of water is in there in the Indian Ocean or something like that?
But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, we won't have that. Maybe I'll search up on this kind of shit beforehand. But it was Oasis related, obviously, because Oasis announced they were getting back
Oasis
together
are
last
doing-
week.
Yes.
Good day.
And
Hadn't heard
I
that.
honestly couldn't give a flying fuck. They were fine in the 90s, and every time I
Yep.
listened to them in the last 10 years, I've just gone, it's a bit fucking dull and boring. Sorry. Maybe because I heard them about 1 million fucking times already. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's like super mainstream, weren't they? Anyway, they're shit. Moving on. Anything else?
Anyway, tune into the Discord to see some good music on the Tunes channel.
I saw Oasis at Reading Festival in 2000. Sorry.
Yeah, I went to
yeah.
Nebworth in 96. And that was enough.
All right.
Can you imagine
good.
how many fucking wankers are going to be here?
Oh, can we stop talking about Oasis, please? All right, let's move on. Anything else, Neil?
Done fuck all basically this week.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same. The only thing I could come up with was my pursuit of my disco haven. I took a step forward and I took a step back. I was not impressed this week.
Oh.
So, did I talk about the smart plugs?
You said
Smart
something
plugs.
mentioned to me about smart plugs.
Smart plugs have come in for some. I was just like, you know what? That could be a solution to controlling everything. I'm trying to work out how to wire everything in, control it, and then power points where things can be plugged in. It's all becoming a bit of a.
You need some more
breakfast.
PowerPoints, do you?
Well, it's not that I need more PowerPoint. Well, I do. Like, how am I going to fit it in? I have a drop ceiling as well, and I have access to power above the drop ceiling. I mean, there's lots of options there.
Yeah.
So I got out the pen and paper, Neil, and I started sketching out some details or whatever, trying to figure it out. And then I thought, well, what about these smart plugs?
Mm-hmm.
So I got 2 smart plugs for I think $20. So they're not not terrible. Didn't break the bank, and they're perfect, right? So I can get lights on, choose which lights or things I want to fire from my phone if I want to. I can turn it all off, which is great. So I actually can have a control, at hand, which is great. So that's good. So
Can't
that's
do that on your
progress.
MP3 player.
No. So that's progress. And then today the strobe arrived.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Disappointing. Not good.
What?
Not good.
How much? Oh, this was not a paralysis of choice problem. You just went with the first thing you found, did you?
No, it wasn't this paralysis of choice. Like, I had already seen these strobes. So they're very cheap from China. They're
Turns
LED,
out
white
there's a
LED
reason.
strobe. Well, there's lots of options, right? You can get bigger arrays of LEDs, firing more LEDs. You can get multicolored with remote controls and all this sort of stuff. But I went just for a straight, plain white LED, with a dial that makes it flash faster or slower. That's it. Cheap, like I think it was 12
Oh, it's
bucks. or
manual
something,
control.
$12 delivered to my door. Yes, but you see, I could plug it into a smart plug, and then I can just press a button, and then it will fire the strobe, right?
Rather than having a remote, having to turn it on, like turn it on and then turn it on with a remote because it wouldn't turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the remote would be okay. Like the remote would still be something pretty, would be fine as an
It doesn't
option.
have one of those.
But the problem is with the LED strobe is that LEDs are not really great at strobing. Apparently,
What, turning on and off
No,
very
I
quickly?
suppose not,
Don't they do
no.
that all the time? Isn't that how they work? They're constantly on and off. Is that how they
No,
work?
that's
they have a
the
frequency,
they have a frequency. Yeah.
but it's so fast that the
Yeah.
LED effectively hardly turns off, right?
Yeah.
Now when you're trying to turn them off at say 70, what would be a good speed? I don't know, like
120
say,
times a second.
I think it's probably 60. I think you can probably ramp it up to about 180. Three times a second, which doesn't sound like a lot. It's fairly fast, but the problem is with the LEDs is they don't darken fast,
Right.
Yeah.
and so actually the strobe effect is shit.
So what do you need?
It's more like a fast light, a fast blinking light rather
What's
than a
the
strobe.
best
Xenon.
light source?
Yeah.
Oh.
Xenon bulb strobes. They are like instant on off, like the proper real deal.
How much
so,
are they?
Secondhand, I think I could find. I've seen one actually not far, for $20.
Do they like? I mean, because I posted a video.
I
You
want
might
to
not
buy
like the
new.
music.
Sorry, just to answer your question, if I want to buy new, I'm up to somewhere between $50 and $100. But
It's a bit of a
secondhand,
push,
I should be able to find one. I should be able to find one. Like people have them. I see them. Like,
do they move?
80s strobe light for.
Can you get into like
just a box?
Just like an on-off bulb thing?
Mhm.
Because I was like, there was a video I posted of a tune, and I was like, it's not really my cup of tea generally, the guy, but there was a bit in it, and it's in like a club with just no one in it, and all the lights show is fucking amazing, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I bet this sounds fucking awesome in the club, because like there's a really hefty bass in it, and then like this really high pitched stuff going on at the same time. And I was like, if you're in a club that's sort of like, and you're just standing the wall of speakers or whatever, and your whole body's fucking shaking, and all the fucking strobes going off, it's like a bit transcendental.
Right.
But
so here's what happened last week. So anyway, last week was the first week that I put all the stuff together, and I started playing in my basement, and I DJ'd for close to 2.5 hours. I'd say close to 3 hours maybe. That's unheard of, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's something to say for atmosphere, right? It was just I was having a riot in there. It was great. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yep, very much so. So anyway, we continue. Work in progress. Carrying on. Thanks, Mark. That's all your fault. And then also, I started watching a show on Netflix called Ripley. I don't know if you've seen it. It's
Believe it or not.
not Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's it's advertised on Netflix. It's got a little thing on there now. It's Emmy nominated. It's all black and white. It's got a picture of the actor. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure whether to recommend it or not. It's an interesting story. It's basically based around this guy who kills and assumes the identity of somebody else, right? He's basically a con artist. And he's really, it's really well, the guy playing it, I can't remember his name, but he's really, really great at it, really good. And the camera work and the sets and everything just look fantastic. It's all black and white and it looks amazing. And if you're into sort of film noir, or maybe something like, Sin City, very atmospheric, very black and white, whatever, and it's quite dark, and it could be right up your alley. But it is a real slow, like, I don't know, like I was watching one of the episodes last night, and it's like, I started tapping the 10-second ahead button on my iPad. Like,
good.
can you just go forward a little bit quickly? Like, I just
Ooh.
need to get to the fucking meat and potatoes here, right? It's not moving quick enough for me. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm not saying it's crap. It is good,
It's
but
a
your
bit slow.
mileage may vary. Your mileage may vary depending on your mood. I'm like, I need it to be moving a bit quicker. I'm struggling a bit. So I'm not sure. There we go. I'm running hot and cold on that one. In fact, I could ditch it now after the 4 episodes, and I'd be quite happy.
Okay.
So,
Not a recommend then.
no. If you ditch it at the 4 episodes, he got away with it. I'm
Right.
not sure
So
if that happens.
there
if
is
I go,
more
I'm
art. Maybe
I'm not
to
sure.
come after that.
Yeah, if I go to 8 episodes, I'm not sure. Maybe he doesn't. It could change. So I may go back. So
I still haven't
But yeah, that's-
finished Tokyo Vice that I was watching. I need to go back and watch that because I was enjoying that. I just never got around. I don't know, just ain't watched it because I was away on holiday and stuff. And I just haven't had the telly back on.
yeah.
So
Apart from that, I watched a lot of football, of course. It's been fun.
yeah, that's the thing.
Back on
Football
the-
season's back on, so everything's football.
Yep. So, what about you, Dave?
I watched a film called Poor Things. I don't know if anyone's seen or heard about this film.
No.
With Emma Stone,
Oh,
and Mark Ruffalo.
Oh.
I know of those two being in films.
Yeah, those two are in films. This film, is a very artsy fartsy, artsy film that is very interesting. Oh, William Defoe's in it as well. William Defoe is actually amazing in it. It's so weird. There's lots of sex in it, and if you're
Ooh.
gonna play a game when you're watching it, play drink or take a a jelly when you see Emma Stone's nipple.
Oh yeah.
Will you be
You'll
extremely
hammered
battered?
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it really
lots of
her
se-
nipple day, or is it a body double's nipple?
I wasn't sure at the start, but no, it's definitely her nipple.
No, you checked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You
yeah.
researched this fully.
No, it's good. It
What, a nipple?
yes. It starts off in black and white, but that becomes apparent why. I think it's like the what's the Yellow Brick Road one?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Like it's a similar sort of reasoning.
More
of
nipples,
why. More nipples than the Wizard of Oz. Yes. But no, it's a really interesting. It's not something that I would have picked up, and the missus like, oh, I was really interested in it. It's kind of like an alternative reality from the 1800s
Okay.
setting. Yeah, it's
Are they
really
poor
odd.
people in it?
Huh?
Why is the title Poor Things? Are they poor? Or
No, they're not poor. I'm not gonna say anything about it.
it's not a
'cause-
financial poor. It's another
no.
type of poor.
Actually, at a time there is, but the poor things are not monetary related. It's very strange. It's definitely worth watching. Not with the kids, but sitting down with the missus and watching it. It's it's good. It's very good.
Maybe my wife will watch that. But you said
yeah.
it's good, so she probably won't. She's just finished watching every fucking episode of Gossip Girl in about a month.
Oh my god!
I don't know how many episodes that is. And it's every time I walk in, I'm like, this is fucking bad, man. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, so that's good. So that's a recommendation if you like watch it.
All right.
And the other thing, I didn't buy a motorbike.
Well done, Dave.
I was extremely close to.
Oh yeah. So did you go testing on Monday?
So yeah, I had to go on two. I had to go on a 756 and a Daytona 660. And yeah, is if I was going to go for one, I was going to go for the Daytona, but it was just shy of 10 grand in total with like the bits that I'd want on it, and I really wanted it, but wanting something for that amount of money is a bit different to needing it. And the thing that got me is I got back on my bike because I went to the test rides on my motorbike,
Mm-hmm.
and then Wentney's was very interested. Like I was thinking, right, I'll go home, have a think about it, I'll call them back. And I got back on my motorbike and I was like, no, I like this. I really like this. I had a look at some sort of secondhand ones that done a few thousand miles. That was a little bit less, but not enough to make it worth it. And I was like, well, why am I doing this? There's no point. I don't need it. This is like I literally don't need it. And we're just going into winter now. And how much I'm actually
Buy a
going
car
to ride
instead.
it. I don't need another car.
Buy another helmet.
Yeah. I just shown you guys before I had bought another helmet.
Bit cheaper than a bike. I
bit
hope.
cheaper than a bike. So I've been looking at bits and pieces that I might do on my bike. I want to get a tail tidy on my bike. There's a servo that regulates the sound of the exhaust. It basically stops the or it closes on the catalytic converter to make it less noisy when you're when you're closing the throttle. So there's mods that you can do. So I can spend a couple of £100 on my bike, I think, and make it
Freshen it up a bit for you.
yeah, make me a very happy
Put some stickers on it.
biker. Yeah,
Stickers to make it go faster.
Yeah. Some speed hose.
only red ones and a line. You gotta have a good line. So there's some bits and pieces that I can do on my bike, and like that's a better use of my money, is that improving and making me more happy with my bike than buying another one. So, but yeah, I was so close to buying it, and I was like, yeah, no, it's yeah, I could, but like let's be sensible about it,
Fair
which
enough.
is weird for me. How's your iPace? Is it iPace that you were looking at, Neil?
Yeah, I haven't looked at any more. Then suddenly all of the ones that were looking at reasonable prices have disappeared because I guess people went, "Oh, that's a good price," and fucking bought.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep changing my
But
mind.
but yeah, other than that, I've been off for the week. I was off, obviously, with Bank Holiday Monday. Had Tuesday,
I
Wednesday
wasn't off Monday.
Oh, you have to work those bank holidays. You get them put into your holiday days.
Yeah. I get however many holidays a year. I think I have to
Plus
use
your
them
bank
for blank holidays.
Yeah.
No.
No, fair enough. But yeah, no. So I went back to work yesterday and today. So, but yeah, I've just been enjoying not working for a few days, taking the dog for long walks, and yeah, like cooking in the day, and
How's the little
yeah.
dog?
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, she's not in here at the moment. She's with the missus in the other room. Yeah, she's Rosa. She's getting on. Yeah, her toilet training's getting much better. We're doing lots of training like on lead and off lead now and stuff. So yeah, it's really nice. There's still a few accidents and stuff with the toilet training and stuff, but it's definitely getting better. It's funny. I was gonna sneak up on the missus in the bedroom.
Oh yeah.
And I was sort of creeping up the stairs, and I jumped around the corner, like boo, and the poor dog was like, oh, and weed. I was oh, sorry.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and Miss just looked at me and was like, you twat.
I can't remember who I was listening to, but I remember hearing someone saying they were trying to toilet train their puppy, and like every time they go to the toilet, they put them on the wee mat or whatever.
Right.
So now it's got to the stage where the dog does a wee wherever it does a wee, and then goes and sits on the wee mat and thinks it's done. It's like, yeah, I've done good, haven't I? It's like, no, you're supposed to wee here, not fucking just come here after you've pissed all over everything.
Yeah. It's hard. It's But yeah, you've got
So,
to keep
yeah.
an eye on them. You like as soon as they start sniffing around, you're like, that's the look. Especially with Mario, it's like that is when you need to go Wii. So out you go, and then lots of prize ones they do a Wii out there and stuff. And yeah, they soon learn. They're,
Yeah,
they're,
and
they're
they
just
don't like soiling where they live,
no.
right? They soon figure it out. So
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
Oh, so that's it, really. That's
Alright.
my week.
All right. Well, let's move on then to what we've been playing, if there is anything. Neil's back to normal. It looks like he's got super list.
Well, I have not played a lot of any of these games, apart from maybe one. So, do you remember posting a list of Metroidvanias that was supposed to be extremely good and some that weren't so good? I guess some person had tier listed a load of Metroidvanias. Yes. One of the S tier ones was a game. I've written Monster Boy, but it's got more than that. It's Monster Boy and something. I should have written it down. I apologise, boss. I'll go and sort that out in a minute. It's on PS Plus Extra, and it's I don't know. It's very Sega, I guess. It feels like an old Sega platformer. Very jolly music, very bright graphics, bit juvenile in a way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so I played a bit of it, and then I just went, I'm not sure. Oh, it's Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is what it's called. And I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. It just wasn't really grabbing me. So I'm definitely not playing it anymore. I just haven't played it for a few days.
You're not playing anymore now. You know it.
I don't know.
It.
It's all right.
The listeners know it.
It looks quite
Everyone
nice.
knows it. All right, doesn't cut it.
It's So yeah, you are a boy at the beginning, and your uncle is zipping around on like a barrel, being very mischievous and making bad things happen. Not awful things, but just mischievous things. Like he turns your brother into a little dragon, a flying dragon, obviously, but a very small one. And then he turns you into a pig for some reason. So you play the game, like you start playing as a boy, and all of a sudden you have to play as a pig. But now, obviously, you have different abilities as a pig. You have an extremely good sense of smell as a pig. So you go around and there's like bits of the area that you can sniff in. You have a button to sniff, and it reveals things in the vicinity.
Old.
So yeah, it's interesting, but yes, very kidsy feel to it. So I don't know. I don't think it's easy, but I don't know. It's quite easy so far, but I don't know. I didn't play loads of it. I played it for about an hour tops, I reckon. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go and give it a bit more because it was on that list and it was supposed to be really good. So maybe it just gets really, really good. I don't know.
I mean, he liked it.
Yeah. I don't know if this was a child that wrote this list. I don't know. Could have been. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't awful, but it didn't grab me by the ghoulies and make me want to play it anymore. So
good.
That's as far as I got.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Well,
not getting grabbed by the ghoulies.
Depends who's grabbing, I guess. So yeah,
I'll take anything.
Yeah, it's been a while. So maybe you play a bit more in the next week and come back to it and let you know a bit more about it next week. Well, maybe I'll just never touch it ever again. I've uninstalled a load of games off my PC today, so I was just like, no, I ain't gonna fucking play that. Right, I ain't gonna play that. So
no, you know it, I know it, the PC knows it.
PC knows it now. So that was Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom to start with. Do you want me to go on to another one?
So we can switch between us. I'll go with Balatro, shall I? I have played more Balatro, of course.
You do surprise me.
Yeah, I ramped back up into the challenges. There were some of those there's one of the challenges there. Every time you play, so it gives you your deck, and every time you play a hand that scores, it debuffs those cards, and they go back into your deck debuffed. So you very quickly end up with a lot of debuffed cards in your hand. And I was attempting that, and the first couple of times because of course when you say on your first blind you got to score 300 points, where you drop something like a full house, 300 points, that's 5 of your cards gone straight away. Then you come to the next and you don't get any decent jokers. You go into the next round for 450. You need to play 2 more hands. Could be a total of 10 cards there. Well, now you've already done 15 cards in your deck are debuffed, right? And you're still a long way to go. So I was a bit like perturbed by this challenge. I didn't there was a part of me was going, that's just fucking too hard. It's too hard. I can't, whatever. And then I thought, you know what, I'll give it a quick go. And you can attempt, and the way to attempt the challenges is to play the challenges a couple of times, get a feel for what is happening, because you can start to build strategies. The more you think about it, and you can do some research as well. I looked on Reddit as well a couple of times. It's like, how are people tackling these challenges or whatever? And actually, I ended up doing it, just a few re-rolls just to get some blinds, skip blinds or whatever to give me a bit of assistance at the start. And if you get your hands powerful enough with planet cards and whatnot, it doesn't matter that the cards are debuffed. Like if your hands are at a level high enough, you can play a debuffed card and it still will score enough points. So, and then you're also actively working to change things into malt cards, change things into bonus cards, gold cards, steel cards. All that removes the debuff and creates a new card, basically. So, I got those challenges done. So I've done over half the challenges now, which is good.
How many achievements? Is this based on achievements, or is this?
No, I don't know what the achievements are for them. I think I get an achievement when I've done them all.
Right.
But yeah, some of them are absolute sons of bitches.
I
But
imagine
they are fun. I am enjoying them. So
you are a
that's
bit
good.
of an expert now, I would say. I would class you as a Balatro expert.
Yeah, I probably am. I think that's fair enough to say that, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, I'm trying to do some of the higher stake runs. They're just brutal.
I was listening to you talk to Dave about when he was playing it, and it just sounded like you were speaking another fucking language. I was like, I wasn't watching, but I was just like, this is just another fucking level of shit he's talking now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'd quite fancy doing some streaming at some point for some of the challenges. I think they're quite good.
Get on it then. We need some viewers.
Yeah. So Balatro continue. Oh yeah, they had an update this week. So they added some decks, some themed decks, skins. Yeah, let's call them skins for the cards. So they released. So they basically have skinned all the face cards. There are 4 skins for the face cards, and they are based on this. Hey, based on the suits. So there's a skin for hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades. And they're all based on different IPs. So one of the skins is for Dave the Diver. If you've played Dave the Diver, I guess I
assume Dave is the king, or is the chef the king?
No,
the sushi chef may be the king.
Sushi chef is the king. Yeah, I know that. I can't remember who Dave is. I guess he's the
Jack.
There's Among Us. Is in the hearts, I think. I really like the design on those.
Oh, is it each suit? Wasn't like the whole deck?
Yeah, each suit. No, each suit.
Okay.
So it's only 3 of each, right?
Right.
So it's the Jack, Queen, and King of each suit, and one of them's Among Us, one of them's Vampire
Witcher.
Survivors.
Is it Vampires? Witcher is definitely one of them.
Is it The Witcher?
Yeah, Geralt of Rivia and what's her name? The witchy woman. What's her name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just look at them and they go, "Oh, those are different and nice to look at." Great. So, but
Yes,
that was
good
free.
art.
That was nice. So,
that's paving the way for paid
skins.
Well, I'll be there for front and center to buy them off them. So,
depending on what they are. Imagine if they did Hunt Showdown skins for Balatro.
I have no problems with that. I suppose have I done any more work on GeForce Now? I keep going to load it up onto my television, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not loading it up on my television, because that means I have to plug my television into the internet. And once I plug my internet into the television, I'm then bombarded with all the bullshit that comes with a smart television. So I've avoided that. but I continue to play a lot of Balatro through GeForce Now on my iPad. If
So are
GeForce
you
Now can,
paying for GeForce Now? Or have you got
I
like a
paid
free trial?
outright 6 months. I paid outright
Oh, have you?
$35.
Ooh.
And yeah, so that's, to me, I've basically paid $35 to have Balatro on my iPad for 6 months, which is absolutely not a problem whatsoever. I will get my money's worth out of it.
You've not tried anything else at all? Because you can basically have
Uh,
anything pretty much on your Steam library on your iPad now, I guess.
Yeah, but I sat there the other day and I looked through all the library and went, I don't want to play any of that. I don't want to play anything that's there. So, no.
Just for science in the show, you need to do something.
Oh, science.
No one ever learned anything from science.
What else have you got?
Me? Well, Dave's only got one game. Is that the only one game you're going to talk about, Dave?
It's literally only one
Okay,
game. I've
right,
got
fine.
to talk
Okay, I'll go again then quickly. I played a game that came to Game Pass because I still have Game Pass. This is one of the games that I've uninstalled.
about.
It's called Atlas Fallen.
Oh, you
and
actually installed that, did you?
I installed
Okay.
it. I played it for about an hour, and then just went, I'm probably never going to play this ever again. It's Focus Interactive, I think, is the people who publish it, I guess. They're the Plague Tale people that publish the Plague Tale. So there's it's like a AA game, I guess we could call it. So
Okay.
some like the graphics are decent.
It does look decent, actually.
Yeah, and I watched a video of it and I went, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I played it and I was like, it's not as cool as it looks in the video.
No.
It's a third person game. When I watch a video, there's bits on it that look actually quite cool. Maybe I should
It's got
reinstall
very
it.
positive reviews on Steam.
I just got really bored. Actually,
Look at this guy. He says, played it at launch on PS5. Decent AA game.
Yeah.
Double A.
That's what I said. Like, it's almost like he's on the same wavelength. But, see, now the guy's
Lord
like sandboarding through the sand deserts. And
Oh, man.
it looked, I don't know, it's like a third-person action adventure game. Old school, I guess. But the story was fucking boring to start with. And the gameplay was okay, but I'm just in a bit of a funk, I think, about like this post-Elden Ring funk that I was in before when I played fucking loads of Elden Ring and then everything else I played after just felt shit. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it, really. It was just a bit, like, dull. So story-wise, I was just like, I don't really give a fuck about any of this. It doesn't really make much sense. And it's AA. It's not AAA. So it's like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just Ben Starr's in it. Look. He's in Final Fantasy 16. Maybe it is good.
Yeah,
maybe I should go back to it. I didn't realise. Maybe I just didn't give it enough of a go. So yeah.
Well, look, if the game hasn't grabbed you by then, it's not going to grab you.
Yeah, but like every time I'm watching the videos and there's like, I didn't get to that bit. That looks all right. That looks pretty cool. So maybe I should play it a bit.
The games are supposed to put their best things at the start to keep you interested.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Well, the combat was pretty boring to start with.
Yeah.
But then I think that's the same with. I mean, Final Fantasy 16. I don't think the combat in that is particularly inspiring. It's just a bit like I was just mashing buttons like Billy Owen when I played the demo. That's a demo I played and didn't buy the game, Final Fantasy 16. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it looks, every time I watch it, I was like, that looks pretty cool. But when I played it, I was like, it's a bit boring.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I say, I uninstalled it. So I was just like, if I leave it installed, it'll probably sit there for fucking ever. And I'll never play it. So I'm just uninstalling it. If I want to feel like I'm going to go back to it, then I'll have to install it again.
It's never going to happen, is it?
We'll see. If I suddenly see something that actually, like, I just didn't give it enough, okay, actually, maybe I'll go back to it then. But I haven't really looked into it because I was like, meh was the thing for me.
Fair enough. All right. No, this isn't great, is it?
It's been a bit of a week.
It has.
A week.
Dave, you want to talk about yours?
Yeah. Talk about Stationeers.
Deep.
Oh mate, I was literally I was thinking I'll just quickly have a look when I actually bought this because I can't remember. I think I bought it like 2018 or something like that, maybe before lockdown. I compare my life against what happened in lockdown and
Pre-lockdown,
Yeah.
post-lockdown,
now.
during lockdown.
Yeah. And I bought it pre-lockdown. And I think I put the last time I played it was actually during lockdown, or post-lockdown. I think I played it during lockdown, and then like post-lockdown, I was like, nah, I've got to do stuff now, so I left it alone. And I've got no idea why. Well, I do. I think because one of our good friends, Arnie, started playing it again, or started talking about it because he's been playing it quite a lot. And I was like, oh, that's a game I haven't picked up in a while.
And since you finished
and
Factorio now,
yeah, and the fact that I finished Factorio, and I did start Shapes, and I was like really enjoying Shapes, and I wanted to play it. It's like, oh, I'll just load up Stationeers to give it a go because I haven't played it, and there's been so many updates and so many changes, and I've been hooked. I've been absolutely hooked. And today, I've bought a dedicated server for
oh
me and Arnie.
dear,
Yes.
And who else is it? One of our other good friends that we play with. Has changed his name on.
Sarah.
Yeah. Lithorius. But it's not that. He's changed his name to Sarah now. Which I need to talk about offline anyway. I don't quite
Did you
know.
miss the memo? Did you not get the memo?
I didn't get the
We'll
memo.
talk-
Nah.
No, right. But yeah. So the three of us are on Stationeers on our Discord. I'm going to post the link on our Discord as well. Because more the merrier. There's spaces for 8-10 people on the server.
Ooh.
Could I? I
Uh-oh.
tell you, I'm looking at something here, and this guy's built this piece of equipment, Vulcan Water Maker, and it's got things like here of heat exchangers with active air cooling, convection
yeah.
radiators.
Yeah.
There's a
It's
part of
like
me that's
being
just
at
going,
work.
right, like that. Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that just goes, that looks super interesting. Like that's
so
great. And then there's a
actually-
part of me just goes, isn't that my job?
Yeah. So me and Arnie had a bit of a discussion. A little bit
Could
of a
I?
discussion.
Here's my question: could I work with you rather than, like,
Yeah.
if I was to get the game, would I be working in the same place you guys are?
He's got a
or is
server.
it-
On
It's
his
a
server.
Yeah,
server.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
so-
it's the so what would happen is when you come in, you come in a lander, and we've built so far Arnie and Sarah has built a little bit of a base near where you would land. I've jumped in there and helped with some mining today. And so on Stationeers, there's lots of different worlds, like there's the moon or Vulcan, which is a hot world. We've chosen to go on to Europa, which is basically an ice moon.
It's lots of
orbiting
water.
Jupiter. Lots of water, but extremely cold all the time. So the challenge is warmth, to keep it warm, and the atmosphere is 100% oxygen. So
Has it been terraformed? I don't believe that is actually true. Is it?
no, I don't think it is. But for the sake of the game, it's 100% oxygen.
I mean,
which
if there's
is
water
highly
there, I
flammable.
guess you could make oxygen.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
which
it's
requires a horrendous amount of energy.
It's
yeah.
fine. Just fucking make a big bang.
So yeah, it's a good challenge. They are currently working on it at the moment, building a base, and yeah, you've got to set up airlocks and like get the right amount of gases so you can breathe in your base. Yeah, it's really good, really good.
Is it-
Like
For the
Sorry.
layman, is it like the Martian movie, the video game, basically?
Pretty much. Yeah, a lot more complicated though. Not just tents, but
Tents, as in like
It's not
camping
all
tents.
not all tents and potatoes, you know.
not all tents and potatoes. But yeah, like as you say, Fraser, there's the complication of setting up atmospheric conditions and filters and setting up so with I think Arnie's setting up a smelter, but he's going to be using some of that energy to radiate the heat that's generated from there into a greenhouse, so he can grow the plants for food. And then sort of deal with off gases, and it's a very complicated sort of simulation of gases, liquids, and pressure differentials between different spaces. It's a little bit janky. There is some learning to do between like using the tools and flipping between them. There's a different tool for everything: screwdrivers, wrenches,
So,
angle grinders, arc welders, and then you have like a little tablet that you put different types of motherboard in the back to check out like electrical connections and atmospheres and what else is there? There's just ton. It's so deep. It's there's a lot to it.
kind of
It's a big
reminds
learning
me of Astroneer, but
Yeah.
like taken to a whole different level of realism and simulation.
Yeah, it's kind of like a space engineers, astroneers.
Because I see
there's
this guy's like terraforming, sort of, in a
Mm.
minor scale. Like he's just altering the environment by zapping it with
So-
a magic gun. I was like, they definitely did this
so-
in
so that-
Astroneer.
that's the mining tool. So the ground is basically voxel based. It's like a triangles in a space. And I kind of like the way I think of it is a very complicated Minecraft where each block is divided into like thousands of small triangles. So
That's how basically 3D video games have worked since they basically came out.
Yeah.
Isn't it? They're just more and
then-
more triangles nowadays.
it's all manipulatable. So the terrain itself. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, there's you can dig out a base. Basically, you can create a base on top of the surface, or you can just dig down and create spaces for yourself. Because the ground, well, as long as you don't like dig through it, is atmospherically sort of pressured. And then there's setting up there's a lot of well, you can go into a lot of the programming of like small modules to turn on and off.
Has this
things you
game
can
got
set-
about a bazillion mods as well?
Yes, but you don't really need them.
Yeah.
Because it's so complicated. In itself, there's all like the sort of yeah, there are mods. You don't really need them. The only ones you really need is like higher yield on mining.
On encumberment. Do you get encumbered in
yeah.
this game?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, more like slots to save stuff. So you don't really need them. That we haven't got any mods running. I don't think I've ever played this game.
Can you
modded, 'cause,
build like a buggy?
I don't know. I haven't got that far. I don't think you can, but you can build like automation things.
You're saying it's
to
worse than
go off the
Starfield,
mining
is what I'm hearing.
So yeah, it's caught. It's
got you,
grabbed
hasn't
me.
it?
It's grabbed me. Yeah. Yeah. It's not. It's not cheap at the moment on its store. It's hasn't been on sale for a while. But it's definitely worth
It's
it.
due. It's due a sale.
Is it?
Maybe.
I may put it on my wish list to see if I get a notification of it dropping.
Yeah, I think you should. It's I think if like put an hour into it and you'd know if you like it or not.
Yeah, I'll probably
you
watch you guys play because you guys are.
It's all right,
obviously
you've got
streaming
fucking
it.
tons of Steam credit. You could just buy it for an hour and fucking then just refund it.
Yeah, I could. Yep, I could definitely do that.
So yeah, it's I've bought this dedicated server for 3 months. So it turned out about 30 quid actually for 3 months. Dedicated server.
Is that through the game? How did
No.
you do this?
No, I had to go to a separate supplier, which was GTX Gaming.
But it's
Um,
they offer Stationeer servers as a thing.
They
right?
offer a server that you can host Stationeers on, and they obviously have scripts in the background that say.
But it's specifically they provide for Stationeers the game rather than like you have to do
Yes.
everything yourself and make it.
There's a little bit of customization that you can do. You can select the world, password, game name, get a sort of server name. I'll set up I asked for a static IP on it, so you can just connect to it through a static IP if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah. So Arn is a sub admin as well, so like he can do pretty much everything I can do.
He can
on it
lock
as
you
well.
out.
No, he can't lock me out. If he wants to, he can. Why not? I don't care.
He's not.
I'm just, it's nice playing a game with the guys.
Yeah.
And we've got a common goal that we're working towards, and there's not PvP. There's
Yawn.
Boring.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to kick back and mess about. I was shooting flares at Arnie earlier, and he was like, "Oh no, something's blown up." It's like, "No, I was shooting a flare at you again."
Bit of bants going down.
Yeah. It's a bit of seriousness, bit of a bit of messing about. It's all good fun.
Ooh, it's a sandbox, a literal sandbox in a desert area.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you die. You die, you're like, "Oh no, I died," and then you respawn.
And you don't lose all your stuff. Do you have to go back and pick all your stuff up from the way you died?
Do like it depends if it's.
Oh, it's a Souls-like, you're saying?
It's if all your stuff's miles away, you're like, sod it. Like, you haven't really lost anything.
That's what happens when you get to level 170 in Elden Ring. It's where you're like, fuck it, I don't need these 300,000 fucking runes that I just dropped. I don't know.
saying that, the last thing I'll say about Stationeers is before I'd done this dedicated server, me and Arnie was playing on my game world because I was just shared my world with him. He came on, and my base randomly blew up. I don't know where. I think I was on Mars, and
was it random?
It was random. It was
happened? It was a bug, or was it like you fucked up?
No, it wasn't a bug. So first of all, it was like, "Oh, your base blew up. That was weird. It's a bug. We'll reload." And then it happened again. I was like, "Why is my base blowing up?" And then like, what it was I accidentally unsheathed one of the canisters that you get from the start, and it overpressured. I think it was like a liquid nitrogen canister or something like that, and it overpressured, and basically it was like a nuclear explosion in my base, and it took us about 20 minutes of working out.
Suboptimal, I'd say.
So yeah, the last time that happened, I was like, "Oh, there's this canister here. What's this?" And we looked at it. It was like, "Yeah, that's overpressured." I lobbed it out of the door, and then like as it was flying through the air, it just like blew up, and it was like, "Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was the reason why my base was blowing up." But yeah, like everything's a learning curve in the game. It's that was very fun.
Nice. All right. Okay. So I guess we're going to hear more about that. There's how long you got the server for? 6 months?
3 months.
3 months for the moment.
3 months. Okay. Good. All right. Neil, you might as well carry on.
Okay. We'll leave the other one till last. Maybe. I'm going to talk about what was it? Oh yeah, I briefly played some Black Ops 6 beta earlier.
Blops 6.
So I've literally played through the tutorial because there's new things in Call of Duty. Get this, new stuff.
Do you like
guess?
Pre-aim down sights.
Pre-aim
down sights.
No, what there is now is you can sprint while strafing. So you can literally like strafe to the right or left, but then if you press shift, you go faster, right or left, as well as and backwards. So you can run faster backwards. Like there's 2 speeds of running backwards now. And also, while you are in a sprint, if you press control, you do this fucking, it's not bullet time, but you do like a big fucking like John Woo dive through the air. And then you can spin through like and still aim in like, so it's like you'll be diving like backwards, and you see your legs fly up in front of you, which is quite humorous. And then you can like, but you're still aiming, so you can like, I don't know what it like. I see people, it's fucking Call of Duty. So people have been playing Call of Duty a lot longer than I have over the last, and people who are playing the beta are probably Call of Duty vets largely. Well, people excited at least to play Call of Duty. And I just went in there to see what it's like. And yeah, there's people jumping and diving around, and like you can like while you're diving, you can flip round and aim behind you and stuff. It's pretty cool. So they have changed something in Call of Duty for once.
So instead of like peeking round corners, people.
Oh,
are,
you do like that? That's another thing.
backflipping.
If you aim down sights near a wall, you do go like that peak to the right or left, if depending on where automatically.
Right.
And
That's
yeah,
good.
like so there, it does feel a bit like there's some changes for once in Call of Duty. It's not just another load of maps. And also I feel like the time to kill is a bit longer than it used to be. It's like I'm not instantly fucking dying. I mean, at the moment, someone runs around the corner.
I like how you measure time to kill with your deaths.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was getting some
It's not
kills,
time
but
to kill, it's time to death, isn't it?
yeah, generally time to be killed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels okay. It's like I say, there's this new, slightly variant of Call of Duty maneuvering and motion and what have you. And
Is this the next big COD that's coming out?
This is the new one that we'll have access to in Game Pass, and I have Game Pass still. So this is why I've got the beta. You can get it if you pre-order. Yeah. If you've got Game Pass Ultimate, you are allowed to play the beta from now, or from earlier today.
PC or
yeah, on PC. I was playing on PC. I don't play on Xbox. But it's cross-platform play by the look of it. Yeah, but it basically just you download the Call of Duty fucking 500 gigabytes or whatever it is now.
I've just seen update required. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have Warzone, it would probably have downloaded an update, which basically is the Black Ops 6 beta.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I literally played for maybe half an hour to an hour earlier, and I was like, okay, this isn't awful. I'm not completely getting destroyed all the time. I did get quite a few kills.
It got released today.
Yeah, it literally came out today.
Right, okay. Because I was going to say I have played a few games of this. I'm not enough to talk about, but I didn't realise. I've seen all the adverts for like Blops.
Yeah, because Modern Warfare 3 is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So did I play any of that? Maybe I played a bit of that multiplayer. And I was just like, this is just old classic, like just getting completely destroyed all the time. But
yeah, mine was slightly different to that, but
yeah. But this was okay so far. But early days, and you're getting 16 new maps, multiplayer maps at launch apparently.
Well, you'd hope so, because it's supposed to be a brand new
game. Well, this is actually
so.
a brand new game, rather than like a reskin or whatever, or an expansion of Modern Warfare 2, like the last game was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels a little bit different. So intriguing. Maybe COD's not totally fucking dead. So other than people who just play COD all the time. But yeah, so beta's out. If you've got Game Pass, if you've pre-ordered it on other platforms. Well, I don't actually know if
I think there's Steam. I did see something.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend. Is the early access beta? It says, and then I guess there's another one next weekend, probably. I don't know, but it's out pretty soon. It's not even that long, but it definitely was. Does that thing with Call of Duty now, where you load the game up and then it takes about fucking half an hour to preload the shaders or whatever.
Yeah, and then it says you've got to restart.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
It's like it does an update. Oh, we just did an update, so you need to restart the game. Oh, fucking! I restarted it 3 times, I think, earlier before I actually got in, and it had finished downloading all the shaders or what have you. But once it's sorted and taken up an entire hard drive in your computer, then it seems alright. But I might play a bit more over the weekend.
All right.
I might join you.
If you can drag yourself away from station,
I think if I can
more
drag
than
my
half an
own
hour.
way, so yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Okay, and I've got one other game before we talk about the other game.
Go on then.
I started playing a game on my PlayStation 5. A game that came to PS Plus. So a game I've paid for, sort of. It's called Cult of the Lamb. It's been out a while.
Yeah, it blew up on Twitch and other streaming
Yeah.
things.
So
I never really watched it, or like I haven't seen videos of it. I don't really understand.
yeah,
much
I'm
about this, but I
very.
know it's
I
a
mean, I
big
played it
thing.
for a couple of hours probably, and I'm just like,
Right.
there's a lot going on in this game
Okay.
that I'm not sure about.
So is it like Terraria in the
No,
scale of things?
I don't know, but
or-
no. It's more like. So there's a hub world.
Okay.
Well, basically, what happens is you're a lamb
Right.
and you're about to be sacrificed, but
Okay.
this entity saves you from being sacrificed to these, I don't know, fucking whatever they are, gods kind of thing. So I guess he's another god. They, I won't call him he, because I don't know what they are, because they don't speak with a native English tongue.
Right.
They have weird voices.
Okay.
And yeah, so they give you this power. They bestow upon you the power to you get this red crown, it's called, and so you then are able to influence other beings less powerful than you, I guess. And so you can kind of put them under this spell, and they'll worship you. And so there's several parts of the game basically. So there's the hub world bit where you gather followers to your cult, and you gradually unlock more and more bits to this hub world area by playing this other part of the game. So in the hub world, you build a temple for starters. And then you need to build like a cooking station. So the more followers you get, the more food you need to cook for them, and then you, like I say, you have to go gather them to the temple for a sermon every day if you can, and then the more you get them to worship you, then you harvest this resource that enables you to unlock more and more stuff for your camp and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
So there's that part of the game, and your followers. Well, they eat. They also shit. So you have to go and clean up all their shit in the hub world. But sometimes it's just normal shit, and every now and again there's like a gold shit. And so someone's cleaning up shit. Yeah. So you clean up the shit, and it becomes a resource, fertilizer. And if you get gold shit, it's gold fertilizer, which is obviously really good fertilizer and makes things grow really quick, I guess. I haven't really used any of that. There's some weird shit going on in this video that I found that is not the game. It's like every time I click on it, it's just not the game, it's something else. And then basically to gather followers and resources and stuff, you go into like a roguelike run through, like the Slay the Spire map. You get like a little route, and you'll be like an instance. In Slay the Spire, it's like a fight. So, or it's like a campfire or what have you. So it's a similar thing in this. You go into like an instance, but once you're in that instance, there's several rooms that you need to travel through to find the exit to get back onto the main map. And in the instance, it will be some fighting. You'll pick up weapons as you go into it. Usually, like there'll be some sort of sword or an axe or what have you, and then there's like a separate. I'm going to get rid of this video. It's doing my head in. There's a secondary ability, which is like a sort of magic casting spell. There's loads of different types of ones of those. So you'll either launch like homing rockets at something, or there'll be things that spread out from you in all different directions and attack whatever's in their way and stuff like that. And then there'll be a point in this instance where you go to a tarot card reader and he gives you a buff. Like, he gives you a 50-50 choice, basically, of one buff or a second buff. So it might buff your health, it might buff your weapon power, or there's fucking tons of stuff I haven't even seen that it could give you. And then once you go through a load of different rooms, and then a few fights, what have you, find some resources, find the exit, go to the next stage on the map. Sometimes that might be a resting point or a shop kind of area, or it'll be back to like a little load of rooms that you traverse and get to the exit. And then at the very end of the route is a boss fight. And you get to the boss fight, and if you beat the boss, then they become one of your followers. And then you you go back to your hub world, do a load of shit, do some fucking sermons, do some rituals. Once you get more and more stuff unlocked, I'm very, very early still. And there's already just like loads of stuff. Oh, there's a little mini mechanic when you're cooking the food. Like you choose all the recipes. You very, very basic recipes start with just berries, and then you get a bit more stuff. And the more complicated stuff, when you go to cook it, there's like a little bar that comes up, and there's a little green bit and a little thing that moves left and right, and you have to snap the thing in the green bit, otherwise you fuck it up and burn it or whatever, and you lose the resources. So there's fucking just tons of stuff going on, basically, and I'm just a bit like fucking a bit overwhelmed initially because there's too much stuff going on for my simple brain. But this is one game that's actually grabbed me a bit. I was like, okay, I'm into this, so I'm going to keep playing this and maybe I'll even finish this game, I don't know. But I've only got 5 followers at the moment, so it's very early days. So I think you can end up with fucking tons of them.
Yeah.
And but you can give them jobs to do as well when you're followers. Though you can get them to just worship you, so they just stand around the campfire going, you get more and more resources to unlock your camp and stuff like that. Or you can get them to go and chop down trees in the hub world area, or mine stone, or
Pick up the shit.
I assume at some point you can get them to pick up the shit, but I think you need to unlock that a bit further down the line. There's one of the unlocks for the camp is body pit. So obviously one of your followers start to die. If you don't deal with them, it makes all the other ones a bit sad. So there's all that sort of stuff going on. It's fucking loads of stuff
with your
going
followers, do you get them? Do you pick them up in the other part of the game?
So yeah, they're like they're kind of like the boss fights you have in the roguelike bit, but they're the ones that become your followers.
Right. Okay.
You indoctrinate them into your cult.
Right.
It's a little bit creepy. Really, don't want to think about it too much because it's a little bit creepy. But yeah, so far the combat's fun, fairly simple, but you've got like a dodge roll, and like I say, there's the special attack, and then just like a sword attack. I haven't actually died
It's really
yet.
nice. I'm looking.
It really does look very cutesy, cartoony, very nice,
Yeah.
and it does freeze a bit on the PlayStation. It's a bit weird because it's like 2D. Nothing. It doesn't look like it's doing anything too complicated, but when it's loading some points, it's just like it's on a fucking super fast SSD. They should just bing, load, but it does occasionally freeze a bit. But it's not. It doesn't freeze to the point of not working. Well, that is a massive shit I've just seen on the video that you can't see. So yeah, but it's fun, it's funny, and a bit weird, and there's a lot going on to make it interesting. So I think I'm going to carry on with this one and actually play a bit more of it.
Yeah, I should go back to this. I've got access to it. I started it, but I didn't get very far in it.
Yeah, it is a little bit overwhelming, I think, to start. It's just like, fucking, because it's had loads of updates, obviously, now.
Right.
From when it first came out. So there's some paid expansions you can get as well, but
there's lots of free expansions as well.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the Steam store. It was it's been 4 or 5 in the last year, big updates, big changes. So it's well supported. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's decent. It's a Devolver digital joint, so you know it's going to be. That's usually a stamp of some sort of quality at least. It might not be
Yeah.
your cup of tea, but it's usually decent.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Very good. And that was
All
on
right.
PlayStation Plus. did you
PS
say?
Plus Extra, I got that on,
PS Plus Extra.
which also had The Witcher 3 added to it. In case you've
Oh,
never
for
heard of
God's
that
sake,
game,
That's an old game now.
it's not, and it's been upgraded for PS5 and Xbox, hasn't it? So
All right. Okay.
there's the old
Let's
faithful.
move on. Let's move on to Hunt.
What do you want to say
If
about
we
that?
must. I don't know. I mean, we play. It's in a weird place right now. Actually, we're enjoying it. We're playing a lot and enjoying it. We're enjoying the new
I've
map.
seen you guys online a lot over the last week playing it. It's always a full team.
Yeah,
When I've
day
seen
by
you guys.
yeah, day by day. I think it's been with this Hunt. And actually, we're into the third week now. Getting used to the UI. I still think it's a terrible piece of design, but I'm getting used to it, and I can sort
It
shit
is
out a lot
not.
quicker.
I would not call it good. For sure.
No, it's
But-
usable. It's not. It's just it's not an efficient UI. It's just not optimized.
It's built for
Has any-
controllers.
Has any changes happened since this big
It's had a few
release?
updates.
Right.
Who knows? I
A
had
lot of
some
the stuff
terrible.
server side stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I had tons of trouble earlier in the week where I was loading in late. So now that's the running gag, is that we're waiting for me to load in.
Yeah.
Right.
When it says
Um,
waiting for other players, we've now discovered sometimes
me.
that's Fraser.
Wait for Fraser.
Last night was okay though. I think it turned out to be okay last night. I had one game. A couple of days ago, the game kept freezing on me, crashing, and then I would load back into the game, and I was just staring at a static screen, and yeah, I could hear people running around. I mean, that was broken. But generally, certainly over the last few games, it's been okay, hasn't it? We've had
A few good games.
I tell you what, last night we had some great fights.
Yeah,
we
had some
really
massive
did.
scraps.
Yeah, I did say actually last night that fight we had in, I don't know where it was.
Well, the
in
thing is,
some
that's the
sort of-
problem at the minute, is I don't know where anywhere is, and I don't know
No,
anything about any location. That is a good thing, I guess, in a way, because obviously we'd
Yeah.
got so used to playing the same 3 maps or whatever, and now it's just like just a new map gives you a good
Yeah.
chance to learn it, I guess.
Starting
But
to get
it's
a feel
fucking
for it.
huge.
yeah, it's big. It's starting to get a feel for it. The more you get to know it, the smaller it becomes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fight last night, I reckon that I said it last night. That fight we had last night was one of the best fights I've ever had. It was hilariously hectic.
Yeah,
And
there was
plus
all
I
sorts
had
of stuff going as well.
Yeah, plus I'd taken a shotgun in with slugs and was sort of primed that they're not that great to use unless you hit your targets, and I was hitting my targets, so that was fun.
Yeah. There was a
a
point.
lot of deaths.
The Romero hatchet I had. Was that the fight? It was just like it was
Yeah,
just
because
chaos.
we had a challenge to do all this tons of Romero damage, and we did it all in.
Did
that
it all in
game.
one game.
Yeah,
It was like 1,000 damage or something stupid that we had to do in one, and we did it all in one
Absolutely
game. Just
wrecking
like
people.
mental. But yeah, I killed the first time ever. I think I've melee killed someone with the Romero hatchet. That was quite funny.
Nice.
There was a guy who killed me that I was just about to hatchet the second guy. He was on fire, running around in front of me, shooting at me, and I was running at him with my raised hatchet, Romero. And as I literally was just letting go of the button to fucking kill him, he fucking shot me. I was like, bollocks! But yeah, it was quite hilarious. The things that
Yeah,
happen.
It was one of those games where when I died, I was annoyed that I died, of course, but actually, I mean, I had a big grin on my face on that
Yeah.
death. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, Hunt delivers still with all its jank.
Yeah, it's jankier possibly than we've ever played, but
They'll figure it out.
it's fun. And yeah, I have faith. It definitely was a bit fucking shit when it first came out.
Yeah, we haven't walked away from it. We're playing it and enjoying it. So, and I'm
Yeah.
keen to get back in and play some more. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll
So-
be on sale again soon. They didn't put the price up when they changed everything, so they did all that work, and it's still 30 quid full price.
Yeah.
So,
It'll be on sale. in
well,
a few
yeah,
weeks,
exactly.
probably.
60% off or something again.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think we need to talk about Hunt that much more. That probably will do it for today, unless anybody has anything they need to add.
Negative.
No, I was just like to comment, Neil. I noticed you're wearing an original Penguin
I am.
shirt. Yes, I'm a big fan of original Penguin.
I bought 3 T-shirts because this is a purchase from the aforementioned Swindon designer outlet village, which has a penguin shop.
Oh yeah.
And I bought 3 polo shirts, and they're all quite nice. They feel quite nice. They're decent, but they're they're brand new.
My
Effectively,
kicker
so.
for polo shirts is will that collar wrinkle? Collar wrinkling on polo
It's
shirts.
new, so it's good at the moment. But we'll see.
Yeah.
And I bought some pants, but turns out I read the back. I thought I'd picked up
Sorry, I
large.
can't remember which country I'm in. Is pants for you? Is that
Underpants? Yes.
Right, okay.
Or shorts. They are trunks, I guess you could call them. Jersey trunk type pants. I don't know what you fucking call them.
Whatever
over
you
there.
say.
Yeah, so turns out they're a bit fucking small, mate. My wife washed them. She was like, "These don't look very big," and I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm getting my ass in them." So they are now my son's. He's got about 100 pairs of pants, and I have about 12, largely with holes in them.
I bought Fruit of the Looms.
Okay. And Fruit of the Looms. I used to do T-shirts at Costco all the time.
Yep, these were Fruit of the Looms from Walmart. I could probably do better, but I don't know. They seem to work, and they're
So
cheap.
yeah, turns out I might need a larger size in the original Penguin underwear.
Hey,
not for that reason, just because they're extremely small.
They wear small. Yeah, of course they do. These are wearing a bit small, aren't they, love? Yes, love. It's the shorts. Okay, all right. That'll do then. Thank you very much for joining us, Dave. You want to do your?
Oh my god, I'm so not ready. Hang on.
So you only had 2 hours.
The one thing you have to do.
I'm ready now. Right, this is my efficiency.
We say that,
and we don't. It's the one thing that we have you do, and we don't even know if we really need it at all either.
Joe, I'd like to add. Can you add something? Can you add something to it, Dave? Send us a review on whatever platform you're listening on. No, don't send it to us. Do a review. Only if it's good, obviously. Don't bother if it's shit.
Do I need to then ask them to tell us where it is so we look at it?
Nah, well, yeah, whatever. Don't really care. I honestly don't care, to be honest.
Okay. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us at sealpodcast.com. Form there, you can contact us directly. If you wish to contact us via email, you can.
Jesus, it's the only thing you have to do. And
look, I'm 4 pints in now.
He does have to put capitals on the show notes as well.
Yeah, what is it with you in capital letters?
Oh, for God's sake.
Don't say God's sake. I have to correct it every time you don't do it. So the least you could do is put a capital letter on your fucking games.
Where do you want your
All right, I've done it.
At the beginning of the word, usually, Dave.
I know. I figured this. You don't see it. You just don't see it, do you? I don't know whether this is sort of some sort of capital letter blindness that you're rocking.
Capital letter blindness. Yeah. So you can email us.
I mean, it's up to you. I don't.
You can contact us at email at sealpodcast@gmail.com or join us on our Discord server. A link is pinned on Acast, YouTube, which is at Sealpodcast, X, which is at Sealpodcast, and we have YouTube and Twitch channels, which we upload and stream to. I'm not going to.
No one's in the chat.
I don't think no one's been in the chat.
No one's in the chat. Everybody's watching Loot and Lose to QPR.
I've been watching people been in and out lurking. No, that's it. Really? I am so hot, and yeah, very.
It's because you're wearing a hat, Dave. The heat can't escape from your head like it should do.
Yeah, that's true.
I had bad hair when I jumped in, so
I've got bad hair all the time, Dave. Look at Fraser's hair. My God.
What are we worrying about our hair? Is that where we are?
You're not.
Dave's young enough to worry about his image.
I need a haircut. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good to see you, etc., and all that. Thanks very much for listening. And until next week, then we'll see you later.
See you soon.
Ta-ra.
Bye.